Here we are. This is our episode from Equations to Innovation, Women Leading the Way. Today I have Professor Lee here. She is a professor in the Department of Mathematics at California State University of Northridge. She is researching mathematical modeling of biological phenomena and applying techniques from game theory to problems from mathematical epidemiology, and earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics, master's and PhD in applied mathematics. On this episode, we will be diving into leadership in STEM through the inspiring lens of mathematics. We'll explore the challenges and triumphs of female leadership, discuss how innovative research can shape leadership styles, and highlight strategies to overcome barriers in traditionally male-dominated fields. Hello, Professor. We will get started with our first question. Can you share a moment from your early career or education that really defined your passion for STEM?
One clear memory is back when I was in elementary school. Like the moment one time I just wanted to do more problems. And our math teacher will assign all of the homework problems from the textbook. But sometimes he would skip through some of the other problems. And I was just maybe bored and I did everything else that the teacher didn't assign, just for fun. So he take a moment to really compliment what I have done and make a big thing about it. So I feel like my love to math at that moment kind of defined, I'm doing something that is good. The teacher thinks is good. So since then, I had a habit, did all of the problems in the textbook. So until maybe in college. So I did also in college, like for calculus sequence and those kind of things. When you go to observation textbook, sometimes you have a hard time to find a homework list because it's very limited. So that's my habit. I guess that kind of, the habit I had, and I continue in middle school, and the math is always my strongest subject. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. No, that's amazing that you did all of the questions every time you had a math book
Yes.
for each of your classes. Wow, that is wonderful. I can really see that you have a great passion and just a love for mathematics just based on that work ethic. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask another question. What have been some of the greatest challenges you faced as a woman in STEM leadership, and how did you overcome them?
One thing I can recall is like when I was applying for a permanent job as a tenure track faculty, ranked like assistant professor when I was near the end of my postdoc training. So I actually got married during my postdoc and I was pregnant. So when I was
Congratulations for
waiting
that.
for my job interview, so it's kind of a awkward moment because I don't know when is a good time to disclose the information that I was pregnant. So that was very, very challenging. So on the one hand, I was anxious waiting to start a family with a kid. On the other hand, I was also very anxious to get a new job, right? A permanent job, start become the professor that I have been working hard for. For me, if I got a job offer, I had to disclose that information so that we can arrange the actual starting time and how to manage those kind of things, like how the semester go and what class they were going to assign me to teach. So that was very challenging, and really, there's not so many people who can offer advice for you, or you can reach out for advice because not everyone was pregnant when they're looking for a job, and then there's not many female faculty out there and in the process. So I feel very kind of, I would say, helpless for a moment. And it was very challenging. Luckily, everything worked out. And I was very fortunate enough that I remember the one thing the department chair mentioned. He said, we are a very family friendly environment. That really I got sold by that, what he said on the phone. Tell me about that. So okay, I feel, well protected and supported as women in science, in STEM, and wanted to have a job and also have a family. Okay, so that's the challenging.
Oh, that's definitely a great
Mhm.
challenge and a unique challenge for women because men
Mhm.
obviously don't need to deal with that when they're applying for jobs, right? So,
Oh yeah. At the
uh,
moment, I was like, oh my God, I'm kind of jealous of women because they can become a dad and has a wife do all of the things, so they don't have to worry about this. For a moment, the whole month I was very stressed out and worried I was depressed or something because I really don't know what's the best way. And in the end, I would just say, don't think about it. Just do whatever I need to do. And in the end, when I told them I was pregnant, whatever happens, just let it happen. So it's out of my control. So that's how kind of attitude I had. I just deal with that.
yes, you really persevered. Some women would just be defeated and not want to apply for jobs sometimes when they are pregnant. So it's really admirable. Well, thank you for sharing. It is definitely a great challenge, and you really persevered through that. I'm gonna ask you the next question. So, how do you think the landscape for women in STEM leadership, especially, is evolving, and how it is evolving in the fields of mathematics?
It's kind of phenomenal, the proportion of women in this field to start as relatively lower than social science. But you know, but one thing I want to say, in particular for my field, like in even in math, there are lots of different branches. People can do pure math, can do applied math. So from what I observed from the academic conferences participant list in my field, particularly like mathematical modeling, like mathematical biology, I don't see that phenomenon. I actually have lots of female collaborators in my field, and the conferences that I normally go to, including the annual meeting for Society of Mathematical Biology, you can see a beautiful portion of the women, faculty or women researcher and participant in that kind of conferences. So even now, the president for Society for Mathematical Biology, she's also a female faculty, and she's actually my friend from one Canadian university. So I think it's definitely going the positive way. And in particular, in my field, there's a lot of great, leaders. In my field, there are female leaders. So I think that is also a very encouraging message to the younger uh, researchers going to the field. And quite a few workshops I have been attending. I attended before, and also the ones I'm involving right now. We have a lot of female, faculties in the group. So I feel like not so much different. So that's the good thing about my own particular field. So I can also tell in some other field, like maybe um, more in the pure math side, and there are more like probably male faculties and less of the female, but but it's more common to see female faculty can also do a greater contribution to the field. Okay.
Yes, definitely. It's
Mhm.
so great to hear that there's more women in the mathematical field nowadays than, say, 100 years ago. It's really great to see that, and thank you for sharing that. That's how you see it at the faculty at CSUN. That's wonderful. Thank you. We have two more questions. I'm gonna ask the next one. How would you say you balance the demands of teaching, research, and leadership in your role at CSUN?
So this is like the question we also tend to ask anyone who wants this kind of a job, right? So work balance, and we have several different responsibilities as being a full-time faculty at that department. So I have to say, I really love teaching, and research is like sometimes I actually do have hard time to sort of balance because when students, I try to keep myself as open as accessible as I can. This academic year, I can say this is the most busy one ever I had because I was on the department personnel committee, which has lots of service, more or less in the fall semester. But then I was at the same time get nominated and to serve at the hiring committee. So it really, really, as I said, this semester started beginning, I've been working every Sunday as well. So I feel a little guilty for my kids, but once you're take the job, then you have to take the job very seriously. In particular, I feel like, I my colleagues, my department chair or associate chair, they have a faith on me to represent the department, to join with other two faculties to, search and hire someone that will be the best fit for our department and serve our department's mission and goals, and will love teaching the students population that we have, and also make our students love them. So I feel like this job is not something joking. So we definitely have to take it seriously. So, but anyway, I just have to really, sometimes I need to set a boundary. Okay, here's my teaching time. I need to protect it. This is my time I work together with my students. And those are the research time. I do have to have a cleared calendar, set a boundary for those, protected zones.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
I can really tell that you were really good at excelling at your time management skills with all three of those that you're balancing in your life. That's really amazing.
Oh, I think there's always a room for improvement. It's like a life learning kind of experience, how to manage your time. So for the person who can manage their time well, they will feel their life is easier to to get handled. Yeah.
I really admire, as I said before, how dedicated you are to your work, not even only in teaching, but researching and also being on the hiring committee. It's really amazing to see.
Thank you.
Let's see. There's a last question I have for you.
Mhm.
What advice would you offer to young women aspiring to leadership roles in STEM, especially when facing early career obstacles?
One important advice I want to offer it for anyone who just started a career and really want to know where is the best place for them to work, and hopefully in the future to go through the leadership role. So they need to find the institution that is the best fit for them first, and then know how to balance those time, and then free themselves with some time to really go into playing a important role like leadership in their own field or maybe in their own institution.
Thank you for sharing again. Yes, leadership, you definitely have to have a drive to be of service to others, right? Um, that is very important. Thank you so much for joining us, and that'll be it for this podcast.
It was lovely to talk something that we normally don't haven't talked yet in the class or in the office hour.
Yes, thank you so much.